This is the shit I be talking about, man. I wasn't ready. God damn. Wasn't ready. All right. Well, ready or not, here I am. I can't hide. Gonna find me. So this is what I'm gonna do. Wait a minute. What I'm gonna have to do is finish setting up while we are here. That's what I'm gonna have to do. And there's no way around it. So, all right. How y'all feeling today? You know what I mean? I'm running late because there was no other way. You know, I got up late this morning, tired. I was tired from yesterday, if y'all noticed. But like I said, I'm going to have to finish setting up while we're here because as soon as I wrote up the show, the joint came right on. I'm like, what I'm doing here? You know, Lisa Cyrus, what's good? How you feeling, ma? Well. I'll be damned. I might as well tell you who I am. I am the capital OMARR. All right, let's go. So like I said, I got to finish all of this setup while y'all are here. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Carla, what's good? What's good? I'm not ready. The show is not starting. Y'all seeing me do my setup, man. See, y'all gotta understand how regimented I am. How regimented I am. So like I can't just continue like other people would go ahead and be able to continue. Like I'm like, no, this has to be. We set it up. This has to come first. That has to come second. Whenever my whole routine is thrown off, it's like what up, Carla, Lisa Cyrus, Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow, he's about to turn it out. All right, so we are talking about low morals and high standards today. But I'm not finished setting up. I ain't do the poll question. I like, all right. This is not going to be indicative of how this day is going to go, though. This is not going to be indicative of how this day is going to go. This day is going to go good. Grown woman, don't try me. What's up? This day is going to go good. This show is going to go well. Everything is going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead, have this conversation, do what we got to do, wrap it up, end it, go on about our day, and have the rest of the day to be great, terrific, stupendous, sensational. High morals, low standards. That's what we're talking about today. High morals and low standards. Do you know anyone that has low morals but high standards? Low morals but high standards. I mean, a lot of people expect you to do things for them that they would never do for you or they would never do for anybody else. But do we ever really clock where that's coming from? No, if you've ever dealt with somebody who has really low morals, like they don't do the right thing, and that's whether they don't do the right thing in front of everybody or whether they don't do the right things on the low. Because a lot of people have you thinking that they all sanctified, holy, holier than thou, definitely holier than you. But, they want some bullshit, but they will expect you to always do the right thing. Anybody ever come down on you for some little naughty shit that you did, some little fuck shit that you may have done, and you have to look at them like, I know you ain't talking. But see, they might have caught you out there at the right time. They caught you out there at the right time. They caught you out there at the time when you wasn't ready to defend yourself. You wasn't ready to defend yourself because you may have felt so bad about something that you did that you was basically caught with your drawers down. I'm talking about around the ankles. Around the ankles, because you can still run away when your drawers and your panties around your knees, but them drawers around your ankles, you know what I mean? You can't stretch your legs out. When they're around your knees, your legs can still. But when they're around your ankles, they like little cotton shackles. So they're gonna have an impact on how far you can run away and how fast you can get away. So yeah. So they might come down on you when you are in your bad place emotionally. But you know that they never do the right thing. You know that they're always on that BS. You know that they always on that fuck shit. What up, Hayden Miller? What's good? You said my audio is messed up? Oh shit. That you know why my audio is messed up? I'm gonna tell you why my audio is messed up. I'm gonna tell you why my audio is messed up. My audio is messed up because I'm not ready. Thank you. I would have went the whole show without having my mic. You know what I mean? Like my man MC Mikey D says, am I better now? But thank you. Thank you for letting me know that my audio wasn't up to par. Appreciate that. This should be good now though, right? We good? All right. All right. So like my man MC Mikey D said, I can live without my radio. Cool J take a hike. The only thing I can't live without is my mic, because I've been rapping for years and I've been rocking it right. You try to take away my mic and it'll lead to a fight. All right. So, and I'm still not ready. No listo. No listo for all my Spanish people. No listo. Soy no listo. No listo. Not ready. Not ready. But fuck it. Y'all hear? Pizza Allberg is in the house. Ritzy Allberg, what's good? Mom, what's good? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. You say, get ready and read your comments. He said, you human. It's okay to be late sometimes. You know, you got a lot of nerve because you always the one indicting me for being, you know what? Hold on. I ain't got to live that way. You just stay right there. Matter of fact, I ain't got to smack you myself. I could, take that. What you talking about? And that's for, and next time, yo, you can, don't go for no attention. Come in this room, close that door. You gonna get this work. What's up now? All right. Okay. We gonna diminish this violence. I'm not here to be violence. I don't want to be violence and I don't want to be vile. I don't want to be violent and I don't want to be vile. But good looking out, M. Good looking out. Lisa talking about the title of this show called My Name. Well. Bite my tongue. He said the title of the show called her name. The name appears to be Lisa Cyrus. So the title of the show says, yeah, Lisa Cyrus. Come to the show right now. Is that what it said? Is that how it went? I'm curious. All right. Emily said, I can do that, but no one else can. Low morals, high standards. Low morals, high standards. In other words, I ain't got to deliver much, but you better come through. Lisa said, that's exactly how it went. All right. So I need a poll question. All right, tell you what. I'm gonna make it simple. Hold on. This is gonna be an easy one. Okay. The poll question is, do you think that people should only get what they deserve and nothing more based on behavior? It wouldn't let me have enough characters to say based on their behavior. So sometimes you just got to figure it out. All right. You know what? Sometimes this, when I type on this keyboard, the second letter, when I capitalize a word, the next letter sticks sometimes. I don't like that shit. But you know, you gotta roll with the punches. Okay, wait a minute. Not enough, not enough. Okay. There we go. I think we, this ain't perfect, but that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. That's what we working with. That's what we working with right there. Jodicus Quai said he can't see without glasses. Oh, really? Oh. I guess I just guessed what you just saw, because those words, those letters on this device is small as hell. That's why I use the monitors. So when y'all see me looking this way, it's because I'm reading y'all with the big letters. You know, I can see though. I don't know what you talking about. I wear glasses. Don't get it twisted. I just don't like to wear my glasses all the time because I want my eyes to get back to where they supposed to be. I want my eyes to get back to where they supposed to be. These joints need to be cleaned off. I know that much. These joints need to be cleaned off. I know that much. But yeah, so let me see. Jodicus says he can't. Okay. Oh, Jodicus, do you see your grandpa here? Oh, he coming like that. Oh, is this the grandpa channel? Well, you know what? It's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that. Because just yesterday, I was told that I resemble Papa Smurf. Because Papa Smurf got the whole white beard, you know what I mean? And I said, well, ain't this about a bitch? I was told that I look like Papa Smurf. I was like, damn, and I ain't even blue. Let's see. I ain't wearing these glasses the whole joint. Hold on. I ain't got, hold on, y'all. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I was show and prove in a New York minute. Get my other glasses over here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my other glasses. You know, you feel me? Yeah, I got a lot of different pairs of glasses, but hold on. Yeah, these the newest joints. I got these last year. I like the way the glasses look, but I don't like the way I don't like the way I can see in them. Now, I went back to the place like, yo, that's just messed up, because I had bought 2 pair. And I was like, I'm not seeing the way I should see in these joints. Like, I can see, but these feel like somebody else's glasses. They feel like somebody else's prescriptions. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to explain what I'm talking about. Yo, I know my man Art of Mine 559, man. I ain't seen you in a minute. My dude. My people, my people, my people, people, my people, my people. Good to see you, my dude. And also, Bandozax. No, should I see better without him? Bandozans. Shades? I don't know. I ain't got none. But yeah, these are progressive lenses. So like the lower part are for reading and the higher part are for like seeing shit far away. But like at nighttime, I can see like the signs clear, but the headlights of the cars in front of me, they look like I have a stigma. And anybody who has a stigma with their eyesight, you know what I'm talking about. You know, like the shit look crazy, right? And I'm like, well, why should it do that? Because these old glasses, the ones I just put away, these are, everything look clear. I'm like, why didn't y'all just give me the same prescription as I had before? They like, yo, your eyes are different now. I'm like, but I see in the old ones better than these new ones. Like, what about that part? I mean, this shit, I can't see shit. I can see a little. You know, I can see a little. Dimples D's, what's good? How you feeling, man? Good to see me some you. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. I wore glasses. I didn't have to wear glasses until I was like 46. So I got the glasses in 2017, right? Because like things that were far away started to look blurry. And I'm like, oh shit, I must be losing my eyesight. I must be diabetic or something. Turns out I just needed glasses. I never thought I would need glasses, right? And so I noticed that the glasses made me look less threatening. I had the whole non-threatening black man look going on. So every time I went on a job interview, and I changed jobs a lot since 2017, I always made sure that I wore my glasses. And when I was at work, I always wore my glasses. Because, you know, when they see a man looking like he's studious, and I do not know, maybe y'all can answer this. Why do people assume that people are studious or smart or nerdy because they wear glasses? You know what wearing glasses means? It means that you can't see well. It doesn't mean that you do your schoolwork. You can wear glasses and still flunk grades or classes. It only means that you can't see. It should mean that if you wear glasses, that you probably don't study because you can't see the words, and that could frustrate the shit out of you. But that's me. That's me maybe overthinking it or whatever. But anyway, when I was on these jobs, people thought I was nerdy and all of that because I was wearing the glasses. So ignore the big shoulders and ignore the big pythons. Ignore all of that. Yeah, he's big, but he wears glasses. So he must be a little smart and he won't knock our heads off. It was working. It worked. I wore these glasses every job interview. It was like, oh yeah, he's our guy. He's cool. He's cool. Shred 00 says, Unc, what's good? What's up, my dude? He said, Unc Wildin'. I'm telling you, man, you got to do what you got to do out here. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do out here. Carla said all nerds don't wear glasses. That's a fact. Only the ones who can't see wear them. See, I ain't been wearing glasses consistently. I made myself wear them when I was wearing them. But I really don't like to wear glasses. I don't like to wear sunglasses. I don't like to wear shades. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I stopped smoking weed 30 years ago, so you know what I mean? I don't have to worry about the weed eye. He replied and rocked the weed eye. All right. Shred, you wearing glasses? Well, I mean, listen, man. I mean, shout out to all of the people who don't wear glasses just because they don't want to be seen as having to wear glasses. People got all kinds of hangups. All right, man, let's get into this show. You know what I mean? I ain't even have my chains on. You know what I mean? Let me get out of this non-threatening black man shit. You know what I mean? And put my shines on. Put my shines on. And we already started. I guess we ain't gonna have no drums this show. We not in the beginning anyway. We way past the beginning. It is. So we talking about low morals, high standards. What do y'all know about having low morals and high standards? What are some of the people who come to your mind when you think about having low morals and high standards? My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, sit back, relax, do your thing. Max and chill. What's going on, my dude? Always good to see you. Shred says, I would definitely be getting the hose if I didn't wear the glasses. Yeah. Well, let me tell you a little something. You can definitely get hoes with glasses. Trust and believe. Factamundo. Facts on top of facts. You can get hoes if you meant to get hoes. You know what I mean? But just make sure that the hoes you get are really hoes. Because if you get a decent woman, when you was looking for a hoe, I'm saying, just make sure you get the right person for the right job. Never send a good woman to do a hoe's job. Never send a decent woman in to do a hoe's job. Speaking of hoe, low morals and high standards. So if you are a hoe, if you are a pimp, or you a player, something like that, can you righteously expect, like, you know how we hear about pimps in the pulpit all the time, right? We hear about pimps in the pulpit all the time. So when we think about the pimps in the pulpit, and we find out that the preacher been slinging that thing around the congregation, all the pretty girls, you know how it be some honeys up in the church. In church, you know what I mean? They supposed to be decent women, and they be looking good. You know, the church girls be looking beyond churchy. They be, all of these churches nowadays, they got the come as you are type of thing. Just bring your money. Bring that tithe money, but dress how you want to dress. So yeah, you might be wearing see-through, but you came through with the tithe money, and you can't nobody tell me about Jesus. Can't nobody tell me like Jesus. Can't nobody tell me about Jesus. Can't nobody tell me like Jesus. City swinging. Jesus, 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 Jesus. And she caught the attention of Pastor. Pastor was like, yo, yes, Sister Keisha, he was squeezing inside Sister Keisha. He was squeezing inside Sister Keisha. Now, Brother Jerome over here might be judging Pastor Keith. Pastor Keith getting judged by Brother Jerome because Pastor Keith been squeezing inside of Sister Keisha. While the mother of the church, Sister Aisha, you know what I mean, is home doing the right thing. Raising the church kids the way they supposed to be raised. So, if y'all been counting up the math, can Brother Jerome accurately and honestly and righteously judge Pastor Keith. Pastor Keith, because he been making extra time to lay hands on Sister Keisha with the sheer dress, with that ass popping titty, a titty with ping, a titty with ping, the ping. She not mammorally challenged at all. She ain't mammorally challenged. Ping, ping. But anyway, so we expect that the preacher is going to have higher moral standards than us because he's leading us as a flock, right? Or it could be the pastor, it could be the imam, it could be the rabbi. I mean, we've known them all to fuck up. They're all flesh of our flesh and blood of our blood. Rest in peace, DMX. But can we honestly and righteously expect other people to do things from a higher moral code than we display ourselves? You know, because what do they say? He who is without sin cast the first stone or some shit like that. Ain't that what? Doesn't it say that somewhere in the Bible, right? Well, how do we get to the place where we can judge somebody on a higher moral code than we are living up to ourselves? And it's one thing for us not to be living the way that we think we should live or other people should live. But what if we're not even trying? Because some people out here not even trying. They're not trying. And you know people like that, and I know people like that too. Pastor Chief Keef, you know, he a drill rapper. He a drill pastor out here doing drills. Pastor out here doing drills. Mandrake, what's good? He said a quote straight from Jesus's mouth. Is it? It was Jesus who said that? He who is without sin, cast the first stone. I didn't know it was Jesus who said that. I didn't know. But it's all good. It's all good. Now, we may be judging people or expecting somebody to do more things or better things than we do from a more personal perspective, because we may not have a relationship with pastor like that, but because we giving the church our money, which I'm supposed to be giving God our money, but we giving the church our money, we paying our tithes, and we're going there for spiritual guidance. You know, when you hire a pastor of a church, you expect him to live up to a higher moral standard. I mean, at least to a high standard, so they can be an example that the rest of the church would respect and would follow. How are you going to not seem to have a respectful relationship with God and expect to lead people to the place where you don't seem to be going yourself? So while you were squeezing up inside of Sister Keisha, what else, Sister Keisha? While you was doing all of that, you may have been ignoring the fact that the rest of your flock is going to do the same thing. And people will stop giving you money and stop following you and supporting you when they don't think that you are doing the right thing. It may take them years. It takes some people decades. Look at these Trump supporters. They still hanging in there. So, yeah, I mean, but on some real shit, when we talk about low morals, high standards, sometimes we have to look right at our kids, right at our spouse, our man, our woman, our friends. Sometimes we ain't looking at nobody but ourselves. Like, I mean, think about when parents say to their kids, do as I say, not do as I do. So when they smoke cigarettes, but they tell you not to smoke cigarettes. They having premarital sex, but they tell you not to have premarital sex. They curse like sailors or whatever, but they'll smack you in the mouth for you cursing. So their expectations are that you will be better than them, but they are not setting the example of being better for you to follow. And even if they don't curse, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't outside of wedlock, that still doesn't mean that there wasn't a time when they smoked, drank, out of wedlock and probably enjoyed it. Of course, there are people who have sex out of wedlock who never get a chance to enjoy. Yo, shout out to all y'all women out there that never came before. You know what I mean? It's a lot of women out there, you know, like there are a lot of women out there who have never bust, have never been with a man that took their time with them or found the G spot. Plenty of them. It's a sad state of affairs. They shit. You know, when you find an angry woman, you know how we be like, yeah, she needs some dick. And she probably be thinking like, yeah, you right. You right. I didn't shut the cookie down. No more nookie, no more cookie. Keep the monster away. I said no more cookie, no more nookie. Yo, I shut it down because the shit was not the way. I'ma tell you right now, I ain't never been with a man that could make me do a handstand and keep the nut inside of my body. But I had 4 kids and I still never did. Yeah, I've been a lot unlucky. So all these bitches talking about that cum, I can't understand none. And I really think that they lying because I keep trying to get to the point when I go, spray all over the bed and like be like, ugh. All right. But I'm saying, there are a lot of women out there. So when you see an angry woman out there, when you see a woman out there that seems to be mad at all men, or she is celibate and happy because she's like, yeah, sex ain't all of that anyway. Yeah, you kind of know where she's coming from. But bottom line is, you might be a parent that used to do all of that shit. You was out there being wild, being wild. You was wild as a youngster. And you know how it is as a parent. You be scared to death that your kids are going to get into the kind of shit that you made your way out of, because you may not feel like you really made your way out of it. Like you got away, but you didn't get away. Oh, Jodica said fake gold. Yup, you're right. Fake gold everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. That's right. Here I am, 55 years old, and I feel the need to impress other 55-year-olds with gold. That makes sense like a motherfucker. I mean, that makes nothing but sense that people in my age range would be impressed by jewelry, gold jewelry, long chains. Yeah. Long chains, like fake gold that I actually had made custom. Like, yo, make me a piece that says Sun 752, like my name is, but don't make it with real gold. How much the fake gold cost? Because that makes sense. Nick one, what's good? He said LeBron. Damn. All right. Mr. Morgan says, yo, bro, you look like LeBron. Damn, we be getting so many different looks. You look like LL. You look like Mike Tyson. You look like now LeBron James. What the fuck? LeBron, like, can't I just be me? Can't I just look like me? I mean, you know what I mean? I wonder, somebody go to LeBron and be like, yo, you look like this dude from Philly. You know what I mean? He got a little show on YouTube or whatever. You look like Sunset Vatu. You said not like that. No, I'm not saying that you dissing. I'm just telling you who people who come on this show, you know, have said I look like. I've gotten Barry Bonds. I've got Mike Tyson. I've gotten LL Cool J. I used to get a lot of LL Cool J way back in the day. But I'm like, LeBron is a new one. No, don't worry about it, Nick, because we thick-skinned over here. You know, long as you respectful, we good. We good. Even if you disrespectful, we clap back. Bow, bow, bow. It ain't about nothing. It ain't about nothing. We have good conversation. We try to have a good time. That's all. Jodica said, B.A. Baracus. Oh, so you ain't no young cat. You talking about some B.A. Baracus because you know about the A-team. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you just a hater. I'm going to make a prediction or an assumption. Jodicas don't get no pussy. Jodicas don't get no pussy. He one of them cats. Oh, well over 40 years old and still gotta pay for ass. Every time. No free pussy for Jodicas. No free pussy for Jodeci. I didn't even go. Your name ain't not gonna be Jodicus. It's gonna be Jodeci. It's easier to say and more recognizable. Maybe if I call you Jodeci, you'll get some pussy. They got plenty. All right. The fake gold costs $10,000. The real gold costs $1. Yo, I wish I could heart that. That shit is dope. The fake gold costs $10,000. The real hold on. Yeah. Slum Gold is taking over. Fuck all that real shit. We ain't going to do that. Yo, it don't appeal. It makes me feel bad when I got the real, because that shit ain't shining for real. Give me the steel, stainless steel. Give me that copper, anything you got. Yo, I'm not the one to be wearing no real gold today, because the fake diamonds is the way. So keep the diamond tester away. I got the rhinestones, or maybe a sapphire. That's fire. Yo, I'm not a liar. I'm going to retire and have all that fake shit coming with me. If I leave you with that shit, you'll see. Yo, the fake is the real nowadays, because the internet then came and messed up your place. It's a different time in a different place. So we want to do the thing and clear our space. Yo, the face on the look that's on your face, we going to make sure that we trace the thing back to the beginning. But no matter what happens at the end of the show, we winning. And I'm spinning the block, and I make sure that I got a big ass clock like Flavor Flav back in the day, Public Enemy #1. I'm just here to do a conversation, a little fun. And it weighs a ton. Yo, looking at the halls and walls and the balls inside my drawers. Yo, no matter what I got to do, I'm gonna have this show and we're gonna play for you. All right. Okay. Yo, that's the #1 comment today. Fake gold 10,000, real gold $1. That shit is the dopest. Bob Dude, what's good? How you feeling, people? What's going on, my people? Listen, I'm trying to stay on topic today, but y'all, we got some talent in here today. Y'all crazy. Fake gold 10,000. Yo, that's a better comeback than I would have thought of. That shit is fly. That shit is fly as hell. All right. So low morals, high standards. Low morals, high standards. Now listen, I'm gonna put some of y'all on blast, but we ain't gonna get but so personal, because I don't know y'all business and y'all don't know mine. But think about the last time you did some fuck shit. And don't act like you ain't never done no fuck shit. Because my fuck shit might not be your fuck shit. Your fuck shit might not be my fuck shit. But we all do some shit that we are a little less proud of. I don't care if you forgot to pay for a pack of juicy fruit when you left the store the other day. You had it in your hand. You had every intention to pay, but you didn't. And when you realized that you hadn't paid for it, maybe because you read the receipt, or you know that they didn't see it or whatever, you didn't go back in the store and say, oh, yo, I forgot to pay for this pack of juicy fruit. Like you got away. You got away with one. Now, is that necessarily some fuck shit? No. after the fact that you knew that you stole something. Was it a little bit of fuck shit? Maybe. That might have been a baby little fuck shit. It was a baby fuck. It was a little baby shit. A little baby fuck shit. All right. But like I was saying before, as parents, we expect our kids to do way better than we've done, even if we're not showing them the right example. Even if we're not setting the standard that they should be following, we expect them to follow that higher standard. And some parents will go all the way to, whooping their kids' ass or even abuse, God forbid, but it happens. You know what I mean? It happens. And you have to think about the mind state of somebody who abuses somebody else. There's, one thing that we talked about yesterday on the show, we talked a lot about being in your right mind. And to be in your right mind, you have to know what being in your right mind means. When you're tired, you're not in your right mind. When you're hungry, you're not in your right mind. Lord knows when you gotta piss or shit really bad, you are not in your right mind. But when you're in love, you might not be in your right mind. When you are lustful, you might not be in your right mind. So you may have to do a whole lot of soul searching and thinking to find out what is the right mind. When can I get in it? When is the right mind available? You understand what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So when we expect somebody to do better than we do, whether they are trained in it or not, or when we expect somebody to try harder than we try, whether they are capable of achieving what they're going for or not, are we really in our right minds when we expect that? And are we in our right minds for not doing it ourselves? Have you ever, or recently, have you ever expected somebody to do something that you could have helped them with, but you didn't help them on purpose because you really thought that they could do it on their own, even if you hadn't shown them? Now, logically, it would make more sense to try to achieve something that we're going to actually help out on. You know how we say we help people who help themselves? But there might be times when we see somebody trying to help themselves and we still don't help. And maybe that's the theory of the little train that could, that little engine that could or whatever. I think I can. Well, you know that they could if you just help them out a little bit. But for whatever reason, you might not. Bob Dude said, can you rap some bars again? All right, tell you what, a little later, when it hits me, I'll rap some bars again. It's hard not to go ahead and just do that shit, by request. But I'm going to put it off a little bit longer because I'll do this shit all fucking day. I will do that shit all day. I was watching a battle rap event yesterday, and they had these long ass pauses in between each match. They were 2-minute rounds for the actual battles, but then they had like half an hour, 45-minute breaks in between the battles. It was pissing me off. But they had this dope ass beat playing. I was like, I tear this. I wish I could have this beat. This shit was nice. It was nice. But yeah, low morals and high standards. So we may have seen somebody trying to help themselves or knew that somebody needed something that we could have provided, but we didn't do it. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about when I talk about that fuck shit. Listen, man, when the cameras wrap and go, when everything is said and done, when nobody is around and you're left to your own thoughts, those are the times when you have to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Have I done the right thing? Do I do the right things? Sometimes the answer is, yeah, mostly. A lot of times it's like, Yeah, I mean, I could have done more, but don't nobody know how much I did in the first place, so I'm good. I could have gave all my money, and to a lot of people, I did give all my money, but they don't know about the stash that I got. That's way more than what I gave. So even doing enough, you know that you could have done more. So if you know that there are times when you could have done more in a situation, but people were satisfied with what you did give, but you expect somebody else to give way more than you do. Well, what are we talking about? What are we working with? What are we working with, y'all? What we doing? Oh, shit. I know one thing. Something explains a whole lot. All right. I'm up here wondering, like, I don't see the number pinned up there. Well, you may have seen it if I would have pinned the number, but the number is pinned up there. For those of y'all never been to this show before, this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. And you can call into the show. There's no censorship. You can call in, say whatever you want to say, get it off your chest. You know what I mean? Express yourself the way you want to express yourself. Man, you can yell, scream, holler, laugh, cry, whatever. You know, you can do whatever you want. The number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319. That's not the fucking number. That's the old number. The number to call is 8741 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said it, 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said it, 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said it, 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. But you see how I fucked up that number? Even though it's right there on the screen. This is why, when it comes to a performing art, this is why I don't get on people for not being perfect. This is why I don't get on people for not getting everything right. Even when I hear somebody else rhyme, you know, like, now, if it's a rhyme that you were supposed to, it was one of your written joints, I do expect that you say them clean. They got to be clean. Because it was written. You practiced it. And you should have practiced over and over and over and over and over and over and over to the point where whether you was high or somebody woke you up at 3 o'clock in the morning out of a dead sleep, you could recite them shits. But when it comes to when you freestyling or, you know, coming off the head or whatever, you know what I mean? I don't expect you to, you know, exactly be perfect. And that's what a lot of things that people do. I'm just talking about people rapping. But in a lot of things that people do, I can't expect perfection because I know that I'm not perfect. I fuck up. I do. Now, maybe if I had time to practice more, or maybe I was more dedicated in certain things, or maybe if my energies weren't pulled in different directions, I would have time to concentrate on just one thing at certain times, and I would get it more right than wrong at certain times. But bottom line is, I can't always get at people for not being on their A game all the time. Let me see. Norris Hill says, it sucks slipping out of my mind right. Wait. It sucks slipping out of my right mind for a moment and gossip ensues. That's a good one. Talking shit about somebody when you know you wouldn't appreciate somebody's talking about you. And you know, we got to be honest, because we all do that. We all do that. You know, there are plenty of people who claim that they never snitch, that they solid, that they always stand on 10 toes down. And they don't. They be snitching. They be pillow talking. You want to know if somebody tells or not? Ask their woman. Ask any man. You want to know if a man runs his mouth? Ask his woman. Because a man will tell his woman damn near everything about somebody else. He will definitely tell her all of his frustrations, or when he thinks that he should be the winner instead of this one and that one. So while he's smiling in this one and that one's face, she knows, like, my man don't like him. My husband can't stand that motherfucker. And he definitely got beef with him. Now he doing the diplomatic thing. He doing what he got to do, but he don't fuck with him like that. She knows. She knows because he told her. Cheryl Halsey, what's good? What's good? And she says, you want to be in your right heart, but you want to be in your heart, but you can't. Yeah. Right mind, right heart. Never thought about that. Being in your right heart. Ooh. Low morals, high standards. That's what we're talking about today. Low morals and high standards. Man, I know all of y'all got kids, or y'all got brothers and sisters. Somebody in y'all life y'all probably are not on speaking terms with right now. Why? Because they have low morals and high standards. Low morals and high standards. So they feel like they should always have the best, or maybe they don't deserve the best or ask for the best, but they want you to always perform at a higher level than they would ever do themselves. You know? Let's go back to the whole not being on speaking terms with somebody. Let's go back to the whole not being on speaking terms with somebody. Have any of you ever had to stop talking to somebody? Follow me. Have you ever had to stop talking to somebody because that person kept trying to get you to make up with somebody who had shitted on you, who had fucked you over? Follow that. Have you ever had to stop talking to somebody who failed to understand why you wasn't fucking with this person over there, because that person over there shitted on you? So they trying to get you to like take the high road, or to bury the hatchet, or to turn the other cheek, or to forgive and forget, not acknowledging the pain that that person over there inflicted on you. The person that you're not talking to over there did you dirty, broke your heart, fucked with your ego, your pride. But this person over here is telling you, oh man, but y'all was friends for so long, or y'all brothers, or y'all was so cool. You should just go ahead and y'all should, man, it's a shame. I know they did this to you or whatever, or they might say some slick shit like, I know you said that they did this, that, and the third. That's that little thing. Like, in other words, either they don't believe that that person did this to you, or they feel like you just in your feelings. Totally not acknowledging your pain. Not showing any type of compassion or sympathy or acknowledgement to how things affect you. So you had to stop talking to this person. You was already not talking to that person, but now you got to stop talking to this person because this person constantly reminds you about that person, and that person shitted on you, and this person over here don't seem to understand. So you had to stop talking to this person because they kept trying to get you to make up with that person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you feel me on that? Sad state of affairs, baby. Sad state of affairs. Nar says some people become collateral damage when cleaning house. Heavy. Heavy, heavy. And Maritza Allberg says, yes. Yes. Now you just erased 2 people off of your contact list. Because when you trying to heal from the trauma that person inflicted on you, and this person keeps reminding you of what that person did to inflict trauma on you. You're trying to heal. You're trying to move on. You're trying to keep the positive thoughts in your mind. But this person keeps bringing this shit up. Oh man, I remember when y'all was this and that, y'all was that, and you even used to dress alike, and y'all was thick as thick. So the fuck what? All good things come to an end. Dog, listen, this is what I need you to do. Listen, I'm not fucking with the boy no more. That's it. I don't fuck with him no more. But I need you to stop bringing that shit up because, that's a trigger for me, and I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? I'm doing bigger and better things right now. I'm good. I'm like boys to men. I'm doing just fine. So listen, I need you to stop bringing that shit up. I ain't, but you ain't have to get like that. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, you know what? Get the fuck out of here. Beat it. What up, hey Meek? What up, hey Nikki? Or you might not even tell him face to face. Like, you might just go back to the lab. You go back to the crib later on that day and you decide, you know what? Guess who I'm not gonna be fucking with? Guess who I'm not gonna be fucking with? Guess who I'm not gonna be fucking with? Yeah, the boy over there, I'm tired of that shit. Every time he come around trying to remind me of the things that I lost and they can't find me. I erased all my addresses and my numbers and he try to bring that shit up and I say, number 1, yo, stop that shit. Number 2, yo, I'm tired of that shit. Number 3, if you bring up that shit again, I'm going to make sure that I go in your face and chin. And I'm going to make sure that you get a chin check that's going to make you other times give me respect. And you might be mad. You might have to go get a gun, but I'm going to knock your ass out, son. Yo, I've been trying to tell you for a good little while that I'm not no little ass child. I'm a grown ass man and I stand on my own. So don't be coming around me like your tone is somebody that you can raise your voice and you're talking with too much bass. Get out my face. And I'm going to leave a trace that that shit was bloody. Yo, it's getting muddy. Yo, it's kind of dirty over here and it appears that I'm going to lose another friend. Yo, it be like that this year. 2025 is giving us much surprises. I'm tired of this shit. And I'm on some other type of thing. I'm just trying to hang around with the queens and kings. Please leave me alone. Let me heal. Yo, don't be disrespecting the way that I feel. I'll be giving you the utmost respect, and I'm really not trying to right now come at your neck, but you're leaving me a limited amount of choices, so you're not hearing the things that I'm saying with my voices. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, Mickey says, I feel you. I grew up with a narcissistic mother. Oh, Lord. A narcissistic mother. So that means that if you grew up with a narcissistic mother, that means you were dealing with that situation before the term became popular. See, if we didn't use the word narcissistic or narcissistic personality disorder, if we would have used that shit 30 years ago, nobody would have known what we was talking about. They would have had to look it up. Now, the internet came out, you know what I mean? And motherfuckers are misusing the word, but I'm sure that you growing up with somebody that gave birth to you, I'm sure that you know exactly what category that's in. So it's probably way more identifiable to you than it might be for somebody else. But that's a tough ass situation to deal with. Very, very tough. Extremely. So yeah, And the thing is, when you're dealing with somebody with a narcissistic personality like that, they fail to understand how anybody else feels or even care. And needless to say, that can bring on a whole host of problems. That can cause a whole host of issues. So I get it. I do. I 100% get it. But that's a real issue. That's a real problem. And it's one of those things we have to deal with. You know, while you working on yourself, a lot of times you have to deal with other people not working on themselves, but they might be working on you. And I hate to do this, but there have been times in my life where I've had to say, well, who the fuck are you to tell somebody else what to do when you doing this, that, and the third? It's like you smoking crack and got on an NA chain or NAP, whatever. Yeah, NA chain. What do you mean NA? You are A. No, you are N. My bad. You ain't the A. You the N. You know what I mean? You out here talking about some say no to drugs. Like you Nancy Reagan or somebody. Meanwhile, you are drugs. Everything about you is drugs. You oozing with drugs. You know what I mean? If you're a female, you might even have the you know how like the crackheads back in the day that thought that they still look good, you know, they would wear the finger waves. You know, I'm talking about the old finger waves from, you know, the 1980s, the 80s finger waves, but they was wearing them shits in the 90s. So, you know, I mean, just because you're a crackhead, that don't mean that you can't do things. It doesn't mean that you don't have any skills. It probably means the exact opposite. I've never seen anybody have more marketable skills than a crackhead, but he can't get that money because they are engulfed in their addiction. Hold on. My people's coming through.
You have a call from
Troy.
Try? The one them called Try?
The one them called here. One them call Sunday. I called to get my shine, baby. I called to get my shine, baby.
That's what's up. That was I almost think you almost sound like you've been to this show before. Where did you get that from?
That's the first time I ever heard of the go get them during the week. Urban Therapy during the weekend. How you doing? What's your name? Do you go by the one Sun 75? It's always sunny. In Philadelphia too.
Yeah, I'm the one them called Sun 752. Sun 752, Omar with the rrr. And I'm feeling like a real man should.
So you Omar with the rrr?
The rrr. The rrr.
Omar with the rrr.
What's good, my dude?
So when the people come in, they gotta announce that. What's going on, Omar with the rrr?
You know what I mean?
What's up, bro, man?
Hey, yo, everything is good, man. Everything is good. We over here talking about low morals and high standards.
Boy.
Yeah. Something tells me you have something to say about that.
Oh, no, you know that, man. You know I do, man.
I just had a funny feeling.
Because I hate motherfuckers because that's the double standard in people. That is what we call double standards. Oh, I can have this low moral, but I'm going to have high standards. Well, you got to have high standards, and you can't have no low morals. We call that double standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I can't stand is double standards. I hate them. I despise them. I don't think that is right. I was listening to you while I was on, getting out the shower, getting myself dialed up just to sit in front of the TV. Because when I'm in front of the TV and I see you on TV, I feel like I'm part of the show. Like you have an audience, and I want to look good in front of the audience. I want to look good.
I took a bath too. I took a bath too. I've never stood in front of this camera dirty. I swear to God, ever.
You don't want to show up. Ever. You don't want to be chilling dirty.
You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy.
So I'm sitting up here, right? And the thing about it is that when you sit back and you listen to double standards, because I have a lot of double standards in what I go through, dealing with the one formerly known as, when the double standard is, I can do this, but you can't do what I do. And it fucks me up because I don't want to do what you do. I want you to understand. I want to do what you do so you can understand how fucked up what you're doing.
Okay.
I don't want to follow what you do. I want you to see the stupid shit that you do is not right. I have high morals, regardless about if whatever sins I might commit. I know the morals. I know that at the end of the day, that at some point in time, I'm going to ask God to forgive me from, and He's going to cleanse me of what low morals I have. I've done that.
Okay.
I've sat back and I've allowed my low morals to not take over my high standards, but I let my low morals keep me in a place where I'm dark, and it didn't affect anybody but me.
Okay.
I didn't never want, if my low morals are my low morals, then I don't want them to affect nobody I love or somebody I respect. I'd rather it just affects me.
Okay.
When it affects other people, that's when it becomes fucked up. And the fucked up part about it is that it's low moral and high standard is what comes along with that is accountability. And you know how I feel about accountability, man. Because if you have responsibility, you can't be responsible if you're not accountable. Because one of them goes, both of them are like lock and keys.
All right.
And that's the whole thing about,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And that's the whole thing about people with low morals. Let's look at, I just want to just say his name and just keep it moving. I'm not going to say his name. Let's look at the dickhead that's running the country.
Okay.
Low morals.
There's like 47 of them.
He feels as though he has high standards.
Wait a minute. Wait.
There's more behind that bullshit. And the people that's behind it and the people that don't hold him accountable is responsible for him thinking that he has high standards. Instead of saying, yo, you fucked up, you're a fucked up individual. I'm an open book when it comes to the damn chat. And I love being an open book because it doesn't just help out people in the chat from what they go through. It also helps me by putting out what I can release. This is my therapy.
Okay.
So what happens is when I sit like my son, I try to teach my oldest son how to have high morals. But then when you try to teach him that, he try to makes it seem like that I haven't told him anything by telling me that after you text me on Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. And you think that's respectful. Oh, I'm going to go out my way and text my dad on Father's Day, a text message. I'm not going to call him. That's cool. A text message is suffice. No, the fuck is not. You text your friends. You call your father. Just like you call your mother. God rest her soul. Just like when your mother passed away, you was calling her. Same respect. And that's the part about it. Then when you tell me I never taught you anything, I taught you all high moral things. I taught you right from wrong. I taught you to respect people. I taught you how to help senior citizens and everything with their bags and be more responsible about the words you say around them. I taught you how to pull your pants the fuck up and put a belt on. I taught you how to say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, regardless if it's somebody 2 or 3 years old, 4 or 5 years older than you, or anybody older than that. Yes, you also will be always your elders as your elder. You respect them. Then when you say I didn't teach you nothing, then what else did I didn't teach you? I told you how to make $1 out of 15 cents, other than the fact that you was addicted to you had your addiction with Xannies, and I still tried to teach you what not to do, but you did it anyway. So whatever I tried to teach you and you fucked up, that's your fuck up. You're grown.
Mm-hmm.
You in your 30s. When you turn 21, you're grown. So whatever morals you have, they didn't come from me. You're developing your own now. Your morals are now your morals. Once as you get older and you start developing your own thought process, once you hit 30, I don't want to hear that you're a kid anymore. I don't want nobody giving y'all excuses.
Let me ask you this.
Having low morals. Yes.
Let me ask you this.
Speak.
Do you see a difference between morals and values?
No. Both of them are somewhat one and the same. High values, high morals, low values, low morals. One and the fucking same. You can't separate neither one of them. You cannot sit there, I just don't understand, how people can sit back and make them and sit back and not have an understanding of, when you have the reason why these kids are out here doing what they're doing today is because they have low morals and low self-esteem. They have insecurity, and they're not following the guidelines of what we might have tried to teach them. They're following the guidelines of, I want to be part of OTF. I want to be part of this gang or that gang and that gang, or I'm seeing everybody up here killing people and writing drill rap instead of being your own individual. High standards. They want to fuck instead of their mom or their dad sitting up there teaching them high morals. They following what their mom and dad doing. Well, let me smoke my weed and drink my beer. Let me run the street and hang out. Let me hang out all night. You can't be part of the damn solution if you fucking part of the problem. You can't sit up here and hold them accountable if you don't want to be responsible for what the fuck they doing. Okay. You have to be able to teach people, and it all starts. The morals, the high moral starts where, son? In the house.
Actually, no.
It's part of your upbringing. Am I correct on that?
Mm-mm. I don't see it that way.
Well, I think that it starts in the household.
I think okay.
If you see, let me just give you this.
Okay.
My opinion is this: if you've seen your mom and dad doing negative things and you felt as though, matter of fact, let's put it like this: if you've seen your dad beating your mom up, right, and you seen her gripping up and he's doing that on a regular, at some point in time, when you get in a relationship and something happens, that's how you're going to react. Because you've seen that. Just the low moral of what you've seen your dad do. Mm-hmm. But if you've seen your dad treat your mom like a queen and say, look, I'm not going to argue with you. We can talk about this when this is calmed down. But here you go money for the rent. We're not going to go to sleep. And we're not going to go to sleep mad with each other. So when this died out, let's talk this thing out so we can make sure we can rest our head, the pillow, in a calm state. Then that's how you're going to treat the woman you get with, or that's how you're going to carry things through life at times. I'm not going to say all people do that, but that's, morally, that's what you would see. I'm going to yield to you and let you speak on what you say.
Okay. All right. Let's take let's take it from this angle. Just like the example that you gave about if you see your dad smack your mom up or abuse her, constantly use violence in order to get his way with her, right? What happens if you see your mom respond positively to violence? Like, let's say every time your dad gets mad, or whatever man that's in her life, let's say every time he puts his hands on your mom, she gives him what he wants. She actually does what he says that she should do. And he said that the only reason that he smacks her up or abuses her is because, you know, she don't do what he told her to do. So let's say he puts his hands on her all the time, and she shapes up and does what he tells her to do, or what she's supposed to be doing, because maybe some of the things are actually what a mother or a wife or a woman should be doing, quote unquote. And then let's say in another scenario where the husband or the man in your mother's life treats her like a queen, does everything that a man is supposed to do, but she treats him like straight shit. And no matter how much he gives, she don't give nothing. So your mom is the abusive person in the relationship, even though the man is the one who always takes the high road, always stands down, always tries to, bring some calm and understanding into the relationship, never allows his frustration or disappointment to allow him to physically get out of pocket. Now you have two examples where one is supposed to make this happen, but it's having the opposite effect. Now, as you viewing that as a child, how do you think you're going to look at that?
Okay, let me elaborate on that, because I always, as I got older and I started learning, I start observing certain things and I start understanding things. One thing I always taught myself is don't allow nobody to change the person you are. To be, if a person is ignorant, don't allow that person to try to change you to be ignorant. I'm talking about in relationships, because what happens is when you change the person you are, then you become who they are. And then if that relationship should end, you take part of the part that you change is going to go into that new relationship. So if that person if the woman is being the way that they want to be, then I feel like I'm going to still be who I am going to be. That's just her. She has to make some changes. She has to understand that if she doesn't change, what's the outcome? What's the consequence behind it? We can us as individuals, we can accept so much bullshit, but at some point in time, when that bullshit is done and over with, you're gonna roll. You're gonna leave, and when you leave, it's not going. You're gonna leave in a bitter way where there is no conversation. If you got children with it, has nothing to do with you no more. It's just about the children. You don't even want to fucking be around them. You don't even want to talk to them.
But I'm asking you, as a child, how do you think that a child is going to process what he's seeing?
Right, and see, as a child,
hold on a second. The way it's supposed to be is that when two people are respectful of each other, then they work out their problems. But the way that it is sometimes is one person is out of pocket and the other person adheres to it or submits to it. So if we talk about, we can't expect children to know or process information in different ways than we've taught them to do. So if we're showing them all the examples, because we all know that children mimic what they see. So if I'm a young boy, and even though I love my mom, if I see my mom treating my pop like shit, and my dad is always giving in to my mom, always, my mom ain't perfect in no kind of way. Only thing my dad is asking for is a little bit of respect, keep the house right, and act like a woman, a mom, and a mother and a wife. That's all he's asking for. But is she doing that? No, that's not what she's doing. Everything that my dad comes up with, she always got some pushback on him. Every good idea that he comes up with, and he does come up with good ideas. He ain't a perfect man, but he comes up with good ideas. She always got something to say. Or she do the passive aggressive shit. She says yes and performs no. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's a good idea. But when it comes time for delivery, She always give him the short end of the stick and always got a way of having an excuse or even blaming him for her not doing what she's supposed to do. And it works. Now, I might not be looking at my dad as a man. Like, yo, Dad, I ain't saying that you should smack mommy up, but what the fuck is you doing? As a child, I'm watching this. These are my teachers. They the first ones. So I'm looking at this shit like, oh, so mommy ain't got to do what the fuck she got to do. She gets to be the queen. And we ain't nothing but a bunch of drones. And my dad is King Drone. I might take the example of my mom. Like, I'm gonna be like my mom. I ain't gonna be like my dad. Because he stay with his feelings hurt. Fuck that. My mom ain't got no feelings. And I got half of her in me. I'm gonna work with that other half because I'd rather be her than to be him. I love him, but I don't want to be him. Or I might think, well, I guess this is the way life is. I guess this is the way love is. It ain't all that pretty, but I guess this is it. So when I start dating, whatever, and I get with somebody that's just like my mom, I guess I figure we doing the right thing. Happy wife, happy life. Fuck that husband. Nobody said he had to be happy. All right, but same thing with the opposite. If I see my dad be violent all the time or handle all of his anger, frustration, and disappointment with violence, and it works, I might start reaching out and smacking motherfuckers up and trying to handle all my shit with violence too. Because in my house it works. He punched the TV and the motherfucker done got no static. We don't need the pliers or the hanger on the TV. My dad punched the TV and he like the fines. Shit is crazy. But when you see some shit working, hold on a second.
You have a call from.
Hold on a second. So yeah, as a child, when you see things working, then you follow that shit. People do what works. Regardless, people do what works. And people who don't do what works, people who resist things that work, then they just spend a whole lot of time complaining, I'm frustrated and feeling like they just got dealt a bad set of cards. And at some point, you gotta switch your shit up. But fuck all that. When I was talking about morals, I don't believe that morals come from the home. Morals really come from they come from religion, be honest with you. Moral standards come from religion. And they come from a place of guilt. Your values can come from the home because your values are just basically a set of things that you do that work. Your morality comes from what you will feel guilty about if you don't do. So your morality is about, oh, I'm supposed to help people because if I don't help people, I'm wrong. I'm supposed to go to church. I'm supposed to read the Bible. I'm supposed to participate in religious ceremonies and things like that. I'm supposed to do the right things because that's what God wants. That's where morality comes from. Your actual values come from the people who raised you. That's why even animals have values. It doesn't have anything to do with religion, not from our standpoint, but they have values. Your values are the things that work or don't work. Now, when you put the two together, your moral values, basically we're talking about the things that make you feel guilty that work, or the things, or should I say the things that make you feel guilty that don't work, even though they might work. You might achieve your end, but because of your moral code, you feel bad about it. It's like selling drugs. Morally, they say that selling drugs is wrong. Morally. But at the same time, you get money. But they say you shouldn't get money selling drugs because you're not doing the right things to make money. Yet the pharmaceutical companies sell way more drugs than you could ever sell on the street. But there's no moral value because of the word legal. Because they're legally doing something. And trust me, the drugs that you sell on those streets ain't killing nobody. But the drugs that they sell in the drugstore are killing millions on a regular basis. But there's no morality involved. So there are times when we have to make that distinction between what is morally acceptable and what's just acceptable. What might be acceptable is anything that you have developed or found out or been taught works. That's acceptable. Unfortunately, some people are taught the wrong things are acceptable. Lying, stealing, cheating, deception, all that kind of shit. And like it or lump it, many people are taught that right there in their homes. They ain't got nothing to do with moral. So if your parents weren't ingrained in a moral code, then it's probably going to be a little harder for you to get there. I'm not saying that you can't, because you may have other influences, like your grandparents or your aunts or somebody else that you respected may have introduced you to a religious moral code that you may have seen the value in. So, I just wanted to, make those examples so we understand some things that happen. You said that once you're 21, you're not a child anymore. You can still be a child at 21. And I don't mean because of your age. I mean because of what you've learned. You may still be a baby because you haven't been taught by those who were supposed to teach you how to be. So your immaturity it may be that of a 13-year-old because these 40-something-year-olds have not taught you better. They just haven't. And why? Because they don't know no better. Or because the wrong things that they've been doing have been working. They was able to raise you with them. With all of that fuck shit that you see going on, they're able to pay their bills, have money left over to shop, and even raise you. Putting good sneakers and jackets and jeans on your body. And giving you allowance. So although they're not doing exactly the better things or the righteous things, they're still able to take care of you. Now, since we're talking about low morals, high standards, we're directly talking about you don't have any morals, but you expect them to have morals. You expect them to have morals. That's why in the beginning of the show, I used the example about the preacher. The preacher, you know what I mean? The preacher, screwing Keisha. Sister Keisha. Sister Keisha and the preacher, they getting it in. But your ass cheating too. I ain't saying that you wrong for pointing out the wrong with Pastor, because Pastor's leading the whole flock and he getting tithe money. Crazy. But at the end of the day, Pastor doing what you do. But you expect Pastor to have a greater relationship with God than you do. But the only reason you even concerned with it is because you go to church too, working on your relationship with God. Yo, somebody got noise in the background. All right, playing that good old school hip hop. I heard that shit. All right. So Cheryl Halsey, what's good? How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm fine. How's everybody? Happy Sunday to everyone.
Happy Sunday to you.
Joy. Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to be real quick on the morals and standards and whatever else you want to say. I was taught from home. you know, what I learned, it did come from home. My grandfather was a pastor. They came on my mother's side. They came once every year. They came out during summertime. And a lot of stuff, yes, we learned, like I said, we did learn from home. And I base it on what I saw in my home and what was done in the home as children, you know. And yeah, but most of the loving and nurturing came from my mother. Yeah. I didn't I can't, as far as my father raising me, I don't know anything about that.
Mm.
Everything came from my mother. All he done was he worked. I gotta give him respect for that. He worked, but then he drank a lot, fought my mother a lot, you know, but for as putting his hands on her, for as trying to make her, I mean, she would fight back, you know. But I picked up on standards from home. And then we, not just me and him, my husband, we taught our children the same thing because we both had the same problem. You know, parent, father beating up on mama, you know, and when you're younger, you can't do nothing. My oldest brother, that rest his soul, all of them are gone now, but he broke my father's rib, you know, and I think this was just a build up, you know. One day he had slapped me in the face, and that was a no-no. You know, my mother done the chastising, and my brother went berserk when he got home, and he did. And the Bible tells you, you know, do not put your hands on you know what I'm saying. You don't put your hands on your parents, you know. But he couldn't hold it no more, you know. And, you know, I think he just grew with it, you know, but he just lost it that day. But then, like, I mean, your morals and your standards, okay? If you, let's just say, that's going to be quick. I tried to teach, what I learned from my mother again. But, and then I taught with my girls, well, I only had two daughters, and the boys, I taught them some of the same things, you know, and a lot of it is treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't want to be out there in the street and people are mistreating you and what have you. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. I mean, I can't say to them at the time if they're out there in the street what's wrong. Say, for instance, one of the boys, the second boy, he got us in trouble, even though they were being taught at home. And we did argue. As far as him putting his hands on me, no, that was enough. That was enough, you know. And so, like I said, we tried to teach our children the same thing, same way. We tried to raise them the same way. We came together on everything. We did have arguments, but it wasn't about the children, you know. We would get into things, you know. And, but like I said, we tried to teach them to respect other people, treat people like the way you want to be treated. And that's, you know, I do say a lot of it comes from home too. I do. And that's all I wanted to say, you know. It's hard, you know, and with nowadays, it's even harder because the internet and all this junk, you know, well, we didn't have that when we were being raised, you know. And so, like I said, I can't even, well, yeah, I used to get spankings with a switch, you know, my legs if I done something bad, because I was bad, fast and bad. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I believe a lot of it comes from home. And I don't expect nobody to do nothing except what they're going to do, you know. And if I don't agree with it, well, you know, I just, you know, I know how to dangle my way and move my way a while, get away from me, you know. If you're doing things that I'm not doing and that I don't feel is right, you know. The number one person in my life is God, you know. He's the head of, in our home, he was the head of the house. You know, I know the man is the head of the house, supposed to be. But when you have a person like my father was, that drinking and that trying to take it out on my mother. No.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's hard, but I don't expect, again, I don't expect people to do nothing but what they're going to do. And if that's the way you are, and if I don't like it, I'm going to disassociate myself with you, which I did with a lot of people, you know?
Let me ask you something real quick.
Okay.
Okay, with you witnessing your parents' situation, right? With your dad with the drinking and stuff like that. Do you have brothers?
Yes, I had two brothers.
Okay. So were they older than you or younger than you, or what was
They
it?
were older.
They were older.
First two kids.
All right. So how much older than you? Like what's the age range between you and your brothers?
Let me see. My big brother was 3 years older than me.
Okay.
And my second brother was 2 years older than me.
So y'all were pretty close. Okay, so
we were all close.
All right, cool. So with your brothers, seeing the example that your father was saying, and I'm not going to judge your dad one way or another. You know, adults do what they do, but how did that affect your brothers from what you could see? What did that make them practice in their own lives, with their own women and their own families? Did you see any similarities or did they reject that way or whatever?
Well, yes, and I'll say with my oldest brother, because and I told you a long time ago, he got caught up with the heroin situation. And he was able to clean himself up before the Lord took him. But my second brother, no, he just had a problem. He was going around getting babies, even though he took care of him. He was married twice. Yeah, before he's beating up on his wife, no, I didn't see that in him at all.
Okay.
But my oldest brother, yes, he had a problem with putting his hands on his female. You know, his wife, yeah, that's first, number one. And my mother would always, try to remind him, you're doing what your father does, And so, yes, in my oldest brother, yes, he did. But see, I can't say what it was for, but it was wrong either way.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Regardless if he was high on them drugs or whatever, it was wrong. But then when it comes to us girls, he was always protective of us girls, So I couldn't understand it, but I would just say that it was because of that. Yeah. And like I said, that day when he broke my father's ribs, it's just like he had just exploded. So I don't know if he was doing things what he had done before, but it's an ugly thing. But God rest his soul.
Yeah.
But I lost my youngest brother in 2020. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
At any rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, I try, and with my children, okay, let's see, with my boys, I don't know of for as them beating up on there. Well, only one is married. Yeah. Out of my boys. And let's see, that's it. No. That's one of them is married. Oh, that's great, huh? That's great. But anyway, one of them is married, and no, he's just not beat up on his wife. Yeah.
Okay.
And his wife, I mean, she's Caucasian. Yeah. But he doesn't beat up on his wife. And then, actually, none of my boys did. My oldest son did more. He didn't have no children, but he had girlfriends. But God rest his soul. He died from an illness.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I didn't see. I did see some of the similarity with my oldest brother, as far as putting his hands on his wife, and and I think it was just because he wanted to be the boss. That's the way he was. He didn't raise enough. He wanted to be the boss. So
okay.
Anyway,
No.
okay.
No. Well.
Right then.
Well, I
I
appreciate
love
you
you
calling
guys.
in. I did.
Everybody in
Oh,
the
you
chat,
too.
hi. Okay. And take care. And you be blessed today. Okay. Every day.
You too.
All right.
You too,
Let's
girl.
go.
All right.
Okay.
You too.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.
So yeah, I appreciate that call. The reason I asked her that is because, I mean, that's a clear cut example of sometimes cats catch on to what they're taught at the crib, and sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? But the way that they process shit is different. Like look, listen, my dad wouldn't. My dad definitely laid hands on my mom, but for some reason, when I was coming up, it was happening less and less. He was starting to have more and more control. And of course I didn't like that shit. And
Mhm.
and I never saw him put hands on her. And but kids know. You know what I mean? Like my room, we was my room was on the third floor with them. But from what I understand, my pop was treacherous when, like before I was born, or maybe before I could understand, before I knew what was going on. But once I got old enough to know what was happening, I don't know, 6, 7 years old, I didn't see it, but the threat was always there. And I felt the power of the threat. So I've never wanted to put my hands on a woman. And I didn't respect my dad for that. For all I loved him and respected him for, the way that he treated my mom, I didn't have no respect for that. And it
Yeah,
sure
I agree
wasn't
with you on that.
it sure wasn't because my mom said, yo, you better not ever put your hands on a woman. We never had that conversation ever. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna give you. I agree with you, but let me just elaborate on something that you said earlier. When we were kids, we never read the Bible. Our parents read the Bible, and it was handed down, handed down. So, yes, it might have been the morals come from the Bible, but it was installed in our parents, and our parents installed morals in us. Whether it's whether it was morals that came from the Word or morals that they felt as though they had grown into them that they put into us. For some morals that they installed in us, some of them might didn't come from the Bible. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that you just said up here and said is the difference with me. Before I was born, my mom and dad wasn't together, but I was told by my middle brother. I was told by either my sister or my middle brother that my dad used to beat the shit out of my mom, and I never saw nothing like that because my mom wasn't together with him. And matter of fact, my dad never, when he did start picking me up, he never picked me up from the house. He picked me up across the street at my grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would let him come to the house. Well, no, it's not the fact that she wouldn't let him come, because like almost 3 or 4 months before he passed away, she made him a plate of food. He came and ate. I guess he felt like that he knew he wasn't going to be here for long, so she was just. My mom wasn't, like I told you, she had that forgiving heart. And the thing about it is, the person that installed in me, not put my hands on a female, was my grandfather. My grandfather said to me, Troy, if I ever hear you putting your hand on a girl, I'm going to whoop your ass. That's all I need to know. There was nothing else to be said. You know? And the first time this thing was put to the test was, I was at Durham Elementary School on 16th and Lombard. The girl name was Raquel. We was going over from Miss Frances Murphy. This is how much I remember that day. Leaving Miss Frances Murphy class, going to sit down in art class. I sat in this chair, and Raquel said, that's my chair. I said, no, it's not. There's no name on this shit. I'm sitting here today. She said, no, I'm sitting there. That's my chair. I said, no, you're not. No, I think my last name had to be Mayweather, because the way she hit me with these punches, man, what the fuck? He was throwing these punches, and I tried to grab one hand, and she would hit me with another hand. I tried to grab her with another. At the end of the day, I was crying so hard like a bitch. The kids was laughing at me. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So I turned back around, and my grandfather had came to the house, and I was upstairs, so I thought I did everything correctly. I didn't hit the girl. I grabbed her hand. So I went over. My mom had took me over to the house on West Street, and he was like, "Troy, I heard you was fighting in school today." I said, "No, I wasn't fighting. The girl was fighting me." He was like, "No, but I told you don't put your hands on the girl." I said, "Granddad, I didn't put my hands on her. I tried to hold her from not punching me." He said, "But you touched her." And then he proceeded to take his belt off and beat my ass.
What?
So I got 2 ass whoopings in one day. Yes.
Wait, so
Yes.
that's a good look to you?
It wasn't a good look to me. And afterwards, I think this was the beginning stages of him apologizing to me because he said, "Hey, take this $10 and go get some shrimp fried rice and a Coke." And then later on, he sat down to me, he apologized to me. He said, "I shouldn't have did that, Troy, because at that point in time, you did try to prevent that. I wasn't thinking, and I apologized." So I understood what he was. I still, at that point in time, he didn't understand what he was doing because he thought as though I touched her hands or I touched her. But he doesn't understand that I was touching her for preventive measure. It wasn't a good look. But, you know, when a man is able, when your grandfather, who's up in them years, is able to apologize to his grandson, you like, wow, this is how it's going. This is how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because so many people had so many grandparents and so many people wouldn't apologize for shit. I did it. It's over with. Okay.
Well, yeah, but
So I found myself.
okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's funny because when you say that some parents wouldn't apologize for anything or something like that, that's when the low morals, high standards come out. That's where they come in. You know what I mean? On a personal level, I don't think that you should ever tell anybody never to touch anybody under any circumstances. That doesn't work for me because that would be like the United States saying to another country, no matter what you do, we're going to help you out. So even if you are trying to take over the world or whatever, we're going to ride with you. You know what I mean? That's basically what's happened with the United States and Israel. We always want to stand with you, Israel, even though y'all practicing genocide and doing that fuck shit. But we're always going to stand with you. We know it's over the money. But outright, we're going to play that part down and we're always going to help you out. So no matter what you do, even though we know it's the wrong thing, even if it's definitely not something that we promote or we would do ourselves, we're still going to help you out. Like I could never tell my son, no matter what a woman does, never put your hands on her.
Well, there's a difference between putting your hands on her.
I understand, but
there's a difference between trying to prevent and trying to fight and beating the shit out of her while she's. I can understand that. I can't understand that part. Preventive measures is different than whooping ass.
Listen, like I'm just saying, I'm not teaching anybody never to use violence under any circumstances. I can't teach anybody that because I know that I grew up with girls around the way that wasn't going to allow you not to put your hands on them. Just real shit. The chicks around my way can fight. Some of them fought like, I found out later on that some of them was dykes, but some of them knew how to hold their hands. You know what I mean? They were potentially knocking niggas out. So, in those situations, you had two choices. Either you stand down and be a punk all the time, or you was gonna have to let her know. Listen, I'm gonna have to teach you that it's not a good idea to put your hands on me. And I've had certain women in my life that let's just say they promoted violence. Let me just put it that way. Everybody wasn't brought up to live in harmony. So when you expect somebody to live in harmony, but they've grown up in chaos and they're attracted to that, what do you have? You know what I mean? You got a bad situation that you should probably remove yourself from. But I couldn't, and I'm not, and don't get me wrong, this is not a knock on your granddad. You know what I mean? It does concern me. It does concern me that he didn't, that he gave you an ass whooping for trying to keep the chick off of you. What was you supposed to do? Get fucked up by this chick? So now you getting the ass whooping plus all everybody in your class is calling you a punk and pussy and you know what I mean? No, fuck out of here. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So self-defense is a must. But I made a video about this some years ago. I think it was like 2017. And it was called adult shaken baby syndrome. So, men, I don't promote domestic violence on any front. However, there may be times in your life where you may have to defend yourself, and either you're going to defend yourself all the way or you're not, because that's what defense is. If you're going to half-ass defend yourself, then you're not defending yourself at all. So adult shaken baby syndrome is, if you ain't supposed to be punching your wife or smacking her or none of that shit. But, use your size to your advantage. Do the bump with her. Let her feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with me, shorty. Boy, shaking baby syndrome like I told you, stop fucking around. Yeah. You can't prove. You can't prove that you never been, make sure, with the arm thing, you know what I mean? Or give her a nice little hug. I love you so goddamn much. After about, 90 seconds, after you bring her back to I'm fucking around with all this. But seriously, you can't allow some people to believe that you would never retaliate or never respond with force. Some people cannot handle that level of grace. Some people can't handle it. You know what I mean? So it might be better in some instances to be like, listen, if you keep fucking with me, you're not going to fuck with me no more. And maybe on the inside, you have pledged, ain't no way I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. But the threat might need to be there because some people act off of the threat. And some people you may have to actually follow through. Let's see. Hold on. TK Wright says, don't shake the shit out of women. Y'all hug her. Hold on. Tell me what to do. Hello. Hold on. You see this pillow right here? You see this? It's a nice pillow. My mom made me this pillow years and years ago. Take this. This is my baby. Yes. That's my baby. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, baby. We gonna work this thing out. You know I love you. I love you more than anything in the world. And we gonna find a way to work this shit the fuck out.
You see the backpack hanging out, you squeezing it to the tight.
Yes. Yes, you are my lady, my girl. You're everything I need and more. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Let me just reiterate. Let me reiterate something here, right though. Sorry, I don't condone anybody. You busting up. Freeze! Freeze! I'm about to. The fucking air out.
Hey, baby. You're good. That's right. That's my baby.
Give a kiss now. Oh, you a fool, boy.
Just saying. These are life lessons, baby. These are life lessons.
Well, I agree with you, but I do agree. But I don't think that, and I don't condone. Same thing with you. I don't. Same thing I say. I prevent. I'm a believer what you say. I don't condone any man ever putting their hands on a woman. I think if a man put their hand on a woman, they should be beat the fuck up or thrown into jail, and then be beat the fuck up again. But I don't condone kicking on the ass because the cops can't see an ass kick.
Well, I mean, listen, we talked about this. We've talked about this before. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you might have to give out a Swiftie. You might have to give out a Swiftie.
Ass kick ball, and when the cops come, she gonna be like, "Well, he kicked me in my ass." You know, the cop gonna say, "Well, let me see your ass." The cops ain't gonna ask that. Cops not gonna say, if you squeeze her too hard, you might have to give a fucking CPR, or they leave some marks on her. But a nice ass kick, so she ain't gonna show the cop her ass. Look at this mark.
Not in front of you, they won't.
You know the fuck right. Look at this mark on my BBL ass.
Nah, man, but this low morals, high standard shit can drive a person crazy.
Yes, it can.
Because it
honestly
gets out of hand.
It can break up a relationship.
Well, worse, it can make a relationship keep going.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. Breaking up might be the thing that fixes it. At least on one end. But the problem is this thing keeps relationships going. Because one person keeps bowing down. One person keeps accepting this shit. And this shit happens at home. It happens in marriage. It happens in friendship. It happens on jobs. It happens out there. It happens in the world. You know? Now, it's one thing to have high expectations of somebody who has been trained in a certain field or art. So whereas, no, I expect you to be better than this. I'm not supposed to be the one doing this. This is your lane. This is your job. This is your life. This is what you do. So yeah, although I might be morally bankrupt, I expect more from you because this is what you do. This is what you do. But in situations where we are on equal footing, yeah, I might have to check myself before I check you, or at least while I check you. But I can't excuse both of us. Well, yeah, you a cheater and I'm a cheater, but you don't know about my cheater, so fuck it. It's a wash. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? If I get blackjack,
or you a cheater, and I assume you cheating. You making assumptions, but you know what you're doing.
Well, no. If I'm saying, if I know that they cheating, but they don't know that I'm cheating, but here I am, the one, placing judgment. You know what I'm saying? I just can't let that shit go. One thing I have a problem with is sometimes when people say, actually a lot of times, is the whole, well, you shouldn't judge anybody. You can't judge them. What the fuck is you talking about? What do you mean? You know how many people would get off with that fuck shit if you said you couldn't judge nobody? So we say in a lot of situations where I can't judge, and it could be because you do some of the things that you won't judge for. But then when it comes to pedophilia or sexual assault, then you like, hold the fuck up. Like, hold on. I thought you said we can't judge. Can we or can't we? You know what I mean? You can't make up your rules as you go along. So I can judge. I can't judge your self-destruction, your smoking, your drinking, your drugging, your prostitution or promiscuity. I can't judge none of that. But if you would put your hands on a child Or if you put your hands on a woman, oh no. Listen, man, a lot of women out here, this is no judgment. A lot of women out here have been hoes for their whole crew. I've known chicks in my life that managed basketball and football teams and all that. And everybody was screwing the chick. And she was never called a hoe. Why? Because they all liked her. You know what I mean? She was the community chick. She was community property and everything was all good. It wasn't until one of them fell in love with the chick and didn't want her to screw none of the other dudes. She agreed not to screw none of the other dudes. But she tried and kept screwing some of the other dudes. Now she a hoe. Now you take another woman who never screwed a bunch of dudes. Never screwed a bunch of dudes. Never slept around like that. You know, maybe she could count the number of men that she's been with on one hand, maybe. But if she ever cheats on her husband, people gonna call her a whore.
Or a whore.
A whore. Not even the respect of being called a hoe. Because you can be
Call her again. You gonna call her
a whore. You know what I mean? You know how demeaning that is? Because when somebody calls you a whore with the WHORE, they mean that shit. Somebody can call you a hoe.
Is that more deeper than a hoe?
It is. Because we gonna go get with these hoes tonight, man. You know what I mean? But a whore, like, whoa. Nobody says we gonna go get with these whores.
A whore.
That's personal.
Like it sounds like Shakespeare.
Listen, when a man, if a man ever calls a woman a whore, he felt that shit in his soul. That motherfucker is hurt. He's hurt. He is disappointed in her. He is, like.
If a man calls a woman a whore, he in that with the song, I need you now.
Look, you're a fucking whore. You fucking whore. Yo, that motherfucker is cut. He is sliced way below the epidermis. That motherfucker might bleed out, or if it was a burn, it'd be in the 3rd degree. Like a hoe can be anybody. Like, oh, shut up, hoe. Get the fuck out of here. But a whore, like, whoa. It's the difference between nigga and nigger. You're like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
Shit. It's a difference. A major difference. You know what I mean?
Well, let's put it like this. In our community, it is. When you add other races to that shit, it's no different.
It's a difference in our community too. We don't be doing the hard ER with each other. We don't do that. When you call somebody a nigger, you are dissing them. I could call you a nigger. I can tell you about that's my nigga. You are not my nigger. That's what you're not. You are not that. I don't have no niggers. I got plenty of niggas, but I ain't got no niggers. The NIGGER, the ERS. Oh no. That shows total disrespect, total dislike, total disregard. Like, nah.
So if a white person used the A, that's decent?
Let me tell you something, Troy. You know what I think is interesting about you?
Tell me that.
You love the word bitch, but hate the word nigga. I think that's odd as fuck.
I don't like the word bitch.
You've been using it a lot lately.
Because, well, let's put this in perspective.
No.
Let's put this in perspective.
No. How? Because people call men niggas and they call women bitches. So how can bitch be acceptable to come out your mouth, but nigga never is? How?
Let me just rebut what you're speaking on, son.
Sure.
Mr. 72. Matter of fact, let me rebut what you're saying, Mr. Omar. With the
Okay.
now, what I'm going to say is this. There are niggers with the ER. And the niggers with the ER are the ones that act like that. This is not people, but the definition that they put in the dictionary is a fucking lie. We know that's just the sugarcoat what it really means. So when a person, I don't like the ER, I don't like the A, nor do I like the YA. Because through all the years, right, all the years of me, when you sit back and it's still all of them on the same. There's no term of endearment with the A because it's still the same. There's no ownership of the ER with the A because it still means the same thing. I don't think that that's a term of endearment. I think that at a certain age, that at a certain word nigga, unless that person is acting like a nigga. There's African Americans and that's niggas. Niggas are the most ignorant, disrespectful, uncaring, don't give a fuck about no other African Americans that will rob, sneak, that will rob, steal, and pillage a community, that will kill people and don't give a fuck about it, whether you're the innocent one or whether you deserved it. African Americans are different.
No, they're not.
Women, listen, let me finish.
Okay.
Women are women. Bitches, there's a difference between a bitch and a woman. A woman is a person that will set you up, that will hurt you, that will kill you, that will stab you, that will do everything impossible to act like a hoe or a whore or do everything to not act like a woman. Two separate things. But I've never called a woman a bitch at any time in my life. Matter of fact, one time. And that person deserved it because of what they were doing at that time. Deserved it.
Okay.
But other than that, I would never ever.
So I don't see how. Like, okay, with the word nigga, that can be used as a term of endearment, or it can be used to describe somebody who is a friend of yours. How can a bitch be used to do that?
Well, women do it all the time as a term of endearment. Come on, let's get ready to go out, bitch.
Okay, so if that can be used as a term of endearment, then so can nigga.
But no, it cannot. To me, neither one of them could be used as a term of endearment.
But one you will. My thing is, one of them you will say out of your mouth, and one you will not. One is totally off limits for you, and the other one isn't.
If I'm joking, I will say it. But even if I'm joking with the word, I don't say the word nigga because I don't feel that word is acceptable to who I am as a person now.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I understand that, and your choice is your choice. But you can't make that choice for everybody. The way that you describe the N-word is your perspective. It's not concrete. It's not true for a lot of people.
But what I'm saying in the black community, in our community, in a way that is used not so much by the elders, but by the younger generation, they throw it out there at a time when they shouldn't throw it out there. You're not supposed to be saying that shit on the bus in front of all these white people that's already looking at you like that. You don't conduct yourself. You conduct yourself in a different way when you're in a different area. If y'all amongst each other, I can't tell you what to do. But when you out and about and you using that word and you throwing that shit out there like that, it doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right.
I agree. I agree with
senior citizens.
I agree.
Senior citizens on the bus. Not with grandma and grandpa on the bus. You saying that word in front of them.
I agree. I agree with you to a certain extent because I believe that there's a certain code of language that you should use in certain places and not in other places because it's appropriate here. It may be appropriate here and not appropriate there, but that doesn't just stand for the word nigga. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't stand for right. And I agree with you on that.
All right. So wait a minute. So it doesn't. Well, hold on. although I don't agree with black people calling each other that around white people, because we don't allow white people to use the word, but that's not where it ends. My thing with me bringing this thing up with you is that how I don't understand how the word bitch can be acceptable, even in joking, but nigga isn't.
It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
But I've heard you use it multiple times on this show recently.
But you heard me use it talking about somebody that really act like that. Like if I got to call a nigga and say this motherfucker's act like this nigga here is for fucking asshole. Like I'm gonna give it to you like this. Yesterday, the boy, what's his name, God Legend, was a fucking nigga. That nigga shit he did yesterday was unacceptable. That was some cornball nigga shit. And I can say that about
what made doing nigga shit?
The shit, what made what he was doing yesterday nigga shit was the fact that while Chums was up here saying what she was saying and her emotions was kicking in about the situation with her grandmother, her mother, and then her son and all the other things that was going on, and the emotions kicked in, his words was, she up here crying, women, people die every day. To me, that's not something that you should be saying. Mm-hmm. If anything, there's a little bit more sympathy and empathy you have towards a person when they're in that way and in that tone. So that was some cornball nigga shit that he said. So yes, he was. And I could say that.
Okay. Now, the reason I asked you what made him be a nigga, because you're saying, okay, I looked at what he was doing as being dismissive, disrespectful, and inconsiderate. That's how I looked at it.
And ignorant, and if you look up the word nigga, it's an ignorant person.
Well, it doesn't say that anymore, but it did used to. It did used to. But the word ignorant means to not know something. It doesn't mean to be rude. All that ignorance means is that you don't know.
Well, he must not know something, or he didn't give a fuck.
Well, my point in all of this is to say that if you can't make up your own definitions for what the word nigga means. You can't make it up. You know what I mean?
So what does the word nigga mean in you, sir?
Okay. Well, depending on there's a clear distinction, as I've stated, between Nigga and Nigger. I don't associate with Niggers. Nigger is somebody like Byron Donalds. He's a Nigger. What's that other senator? I think it's for North Carolina? The one that's always him. Yeah. He's a Nigger. Now,
Nigger?
Because when you think about the reason that white people started calling people niggers, they called them that because they didn't know better, because they couldn't read, because they couldn't write, and they didn't know that they were treating the people who were their enemies, they were treating them like friends. So that's what made them niggers. They almost weren't wrong, but they created them to do that. So the same way that a person that has low moral character or is disrespectful or inconsiderate of people's feelings could be a nigger too, because they are acting like they don't know better. Now, in all of this, I don't believe in giving power to words, because I would much rather you not treat me like a nigga than to call me a nigga. You can call me a nigga because you don't know what I know. So you can assume that I'm ignorant. You can assume that I don't know things, but that's your assumption. I will show you, not prove, but I will show you that I know a lot more things than probably you know. But if you treat me like a nigga, that means that you're treating me in the way that an enemy would treat somebody, but you expect me to treat you like a friend or like God or like somebody who has privilege. That's what would make me a nigger. I would much rather you call me a nigga than to treat me like one. I will not stand for anybody treating me like a nigga. Now, you want to treat me like a nigga? Yeah, I'm that sometimes. I talk slick sometimes. Sometimes I'm a little disrespectful. Sometimes I overstep my bounds. Sometimes I just like to hang out, cool out, and do things that may not be necessary or productive. We all got a little nigga in us, but we don't, that doesn't make us niggers.
So can I ask you a question? Out of all the racial slurs that's on this planet, what is the most demeaning racial slur?
For me?
Ever.
For me?
Period.
For me,
Yeah.
I'll respond more negatively to you calling me like an ape or a monkey than a nigger. You was brought up to call me, you may be brought up to call me a nigger, but calling me ape or monkey or gorilla is worse because you made that decision on your own. That's you saying that anybody who is that color is a ape or a monkey or or some kind of primate or whatever. Even though all human beings have primate characteristics, and some even white people have looked more monkeyish than black people. So yeah. So
can I reiterate on something that what you're saying? Right. When I did say to you that maybe in the black community that the A is a term of endearment, and the ER is not even used in the black community. It's always the A. Very rare you hear a black person overemphasize the word with the word nigga with ER.
I said that.
I said, but and that's what I agree with you on. I did not agree with you on that. I said, but as a person that's in the generation that we're in, and as we see these younger people coming up, right? If they know better, they do better. And if you teach them a difference, not so much with the A or with the ER, or just the ER within general, maybe they will understand a little bit things a little bit differently. You see, so because when you sit back and they just walk around saying nigga this, nigga that, nigger, and all that shit, maybe you need to show them the strange fruit on the tree. Maybe they have to do some history work to understand how powerful and how hurtful that word can be.
How about you? Maybe you should tell them that no matter what anybody calls them, they are not what somebody calls them. They are what they are.
You can tell them all you want. See the difference.
No, you can't just tell everybody. You can't just tell everybody.
But we have two different experiences with that word. We have two different experiences with that word.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know what you experience with it, but I know what I experience with it, and I don't like the word.
Okay, well, what experience? Okay, let me.
Word. I've had bottles thrown at me in my work. I've been trying to prevent an accident in the car with my kid's mom and my unborn child and my sister and brother, and talked to a car load full of them and told them I think y'all should pull over because I think that y'all drove driving, and that whole car said, "Who the fuck you talking to, you fucking nigger?" I've been called that.
So Troy. They called you that, but they were just prejudiced against you or racist against you because you were black. It wasn't the word. It was who you are. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't.
Well,
they don't like black people, huh?
If I was white, would they have called me a nigga?
No, but
it wasn't meant.
Troy.
I look at it as
if people who don't like you know that one word is gonna fuck with you, then they're gonna do it. You know, hold on. Black women do not respond negatively if somebody calls them a cunt. They're like, what the fuck are you even? Huh?
That's black women.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. So black women do not respond negatively when called a cunt. But a white person, a white woman will fucking try to knock your head off for calling her that. There's a difference. There's a difference. One hurts one and one doesn't affect the other. You call a black woman, some black women, a lot of black women, you call them a bitch and you got a real problem on your hand. You call a white woman a bitch, you hardly ever going to have a problem. It don't hurt them. They don't give a fuck. You call them a cunt and you got a fight on your hand. And I don't care what white woman that is. You can't use that even even just playing around. There's no way you can get away with it. But you can call white women a bitch. I've done it. I've seen it. The bitch. All he's saying is that he's mad. But some black women, you call them a bitch. It's like Queen Latifah. Who you calling a bitch? It hits different.
I'm gonna give you a scenario. I was away in college, right? And while I was in college, this guy, he came over to me, right? He came over to me. He had one of them small Louisville Sluggers that you wear at the amusement park. You know them little baseball bats?
Yeah.
So he said to me, why do they call these nigger beaters? I said, why you asking me that? He said, because that's what I was told. I said, well, the word, they don't call them nigger beaters, but maybe they call them nigger beaters because they want to use them. They use them in defense or want to use them to beat up African Americans or beat so-called niggers up. You know, and that's what them, and if that's what they want to use them for, then that's what they use them for. But they don't call them nigger beaters. He said, but why do they call them that? I said, give me the bat. I said, you want me to shoot? And I proceeded to hit him over the fucking head with that bat several times because he was being an asshole. You don't know if they're going to say the word. They're not saying the word the way you're thinking they're saying it. They're saying it to be hurtful, disrespectful, and damn right out hurtful. Just hurtful in all words. So when a white man sit back and call you a nigga, we from the same generation, but I look at that word differently. We have to agree to disagree on this.
Well, calling each other niggas did not come from our generation. It didn't come from our mothers and fathers' generation either. This shit
come from our generation, and it did come from our mother and father generations, but it's been handed down through generations. And
it hasn't killed any generation. It has not negatively
any generation.
It hasn't negative. I'm not saying. Listen. I just think that it should be your choice on whether to use the word or not. But I don't.
Always a choice.
Well, I just don't accept. I just don't accept that word is as bad as we try to label it. I just don't, because I grew up. Hold on. I grew up in Philly. You grew up in Philly. We didn't grow up calling each other. But when NWA came out, they was using that word like it wasn't nothing. Now we taking it all the way back to 1987 when they came out. But over in California, they was talking like that way before. Hold on. So hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Not just California, down south too. So I mean, one of the problems that we have about being from the East Coast is we think that we set the standards for everybody else. Like we get everything. We might get fashion and technology first, but we didn't invent the wheel on social interaction. So just like we wasn't wearing jerry curls and shit like that, you know, for the most part, up on this side, down south and on the West Coast they were, and they got just as many people over there as we do over here. So just because we weren't doing it doesn't mean it wasn't getting done. So we can start counting from where we are, but that doesn't make us right. We're counting from our perspective, and so we might be letting our perspective overrule things. Well, it might be overruling our logic.
Just the other day, my daughter was riding, right, and she had crossed in front of somebody, didn't know that he had crossed them off. So white guy called her niggas continuously. Nigga bitches, nigga everything. My daughter called my wife crying, bawling in the fucking car. I told her, I wish you had got his fucking license plate number or took a picture of the motherfucker. So I mean, the word nigga, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to restrain myself from that. So now when you hand that shit down to a different generation and now they using it on your fucking kids, I'm not gonna let that word go like that.
Okay, you don't have to, but you can't put that out for everybody else.
I'm not telling every. Son,
You have.
I don't make a decision on what anybody else say, but I can give my opinion on how I feel about it to somebody.
And your opinion is valid, but you have not kept it. Wait. Well, hold on. But we started off this conversation because I said, how is the word nigga acceptable, but the word bitch? I mean, how is the word nigga unacceptable, but the word bitch is? That's where this started from.
Right, and I don't use the word bitch all willy-nilly like I use, and I don't even use the word nigga. I don't gotta use the word nigga.
But you don't use the word nigga even in jest. But the word bitch you do. And you just did it the other night.
Yeah, I said the word bitch. Do you hear me using the word bitch continuously? Because I know guys that use the word nigga.
Okay, so the word nigga is not even but according to you, the word nigga is not acceptable even one time. But the word bitch,
no, the word nigga is to me at age 55, there's no reason for me to use the word nigga unless I have to use it. I'm not walking up to my boy talking about what's up, my nigga. To me, that's play.
Okay.
To me, that's play.
I'm just saying.
That's not something I outgrew that years ago.
Okay, wait. What do you mean?
It is, to me, it's play. There's no reason for you to. If you're 54, you're 55, you walk up to your boy, yo, what's up, my niggas? That's play. We in a different era. We in a different.
So if it's played, what replaced it?
What's up, good brother? What's up, family?
We was doing that. All of those words are played too, because we've done them all.
Well, the two words that I just used, I would rather call family, good brother, bro.
Okay. All I'm saying is, how can we say that it's played? I'm just challenging it. How can we say that it's played? I can see if you said job turkey or something like that. That's
another person's opinion, bro.
Babe, no. Listen, my dude. I'm not knocking your
dude. I'm your brother. Remember? See, when I'm your dude, now you getting pissed. I'm your brother.
Like I said, when I'm challenging your acceptance of one over the other. I just think that I don't see how one can be okay when the other one is never okay, when one is often used to describe men and the other one is used to describe women. Now, with the way that you heap praise on women, I would think that the word bitch would be even less acceptable than nigga.
Yeah, and I still heap praise on women, and I still heap praise on brothers. I still do the same thing, but I don't like the word. When we sit around and we throw that word out, so much, right? We don't sit back and understand that we're not sitting back holding accountable the next generation, and then the next generation, and then the next generation. We accepting the book. We might as well start walking around using the word Lizzie and Paul and all that other shit, because that other generation is bringing that generation up there. At some point in time, we have to school certain things to be using, or tone it down at least some.
Listen,
if I use the word bitch, I call a mother a boy, man, why you acting like a bitch, boy? It doesn't have that narrative don't always go to a woman.
Oh no, you're right about that. I'm talking about.
I said to you, I said it in the terms of me acting like a bitch. I never call a woman a bitch. On a Friday, I said me. I was acting like a bitch, boy.
Well, I'm talking about when you were playing around with the songs and you said that, like we should put bitch in it. You were playing around with the song.
I said that. And that's it. And I said that because if you angry, you say words like that.
It wasn't.
When you're angry, you say words like that. It's like when a white person angry, they call you nigger.
They don't have to be angry to do it. All they have to do is not like black people.
Well,
But
so they don't.
White people do not have to be mad at you. No, white people call you a nigga because they think it's going to make you mad. It's not because they're mad. They know that it affects. They know, Troy, I'm telling you, and I know this for a fact. Racist people know that a black really resent being called a nigga. So in order for them to fuck with a nigga or a black person, they will call them a nigga because they know that that's going to make them mad. They do not have to be angry. Why do you think that they use the word amongst themselves? These fucking niggas, man. He's cool, but he's a nigga. You know what I mean? And there's no way that we're going to let him be president of this company. They ain't mad. It's what they think. It's a word that they use instead of using more socially acceptable language. They don't have to be mad. They know it makes you mad. So when they talk to you and when they use that, they are trying to elicit an emotional response from you.
And then when they get the emotional response, what happens after that?
It depends. Because if it's 100 of them and it's only one of you, you ain't going to do shit but die.
Here you go. Okay. And if it's not 100 of you and it's two,
then if it's only one or two of them, then a lot. Hey, listen, they're white people who can fight. So not black people don't always win. I've seen black dudes get their ass whooped by white dudes.
See the thing about it, son.
It is what it is.
Let me ask you a question. If it's one or two of them and it's you, they call the nigga.
Huh?
Would you rather take your chances with them, you whooping their ass, or them whooping your ass?
First of all, we not fighting over nobody calling me a nigga. That's not that.
Okay, well, that's just.
We not fighting over that. Hey, listen.
That's why I see that's how you feel.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why we're not fighting over you calling me a nigga. Because I believe in winning in the end. And me getting locked up, me having to go back and forth to court, me having to pay a lawyer is not a win. And I'm not going to let you put me in a position where I'm losing financially and taking money away from my family and from myself where I could be productive because you called me a name that I didn't like. Now, there are other things I can do to handle that. The civil rights movement was made specifically for this. So if somebody call you a nigga, you should call a lawyer, especially if they call you that on a job. Now, hold on. Now, I'm a hothead sometimes. So maybe in certain situations, if I'm called a nigga, I might act violently, but you can best believe I'm gonna act violently in a way that's going to make me win in the end because I always have my wits about me. And there is no word that you're gonna call me that's gonna make me come out of my character that I've never thought about I'm acting before. So you call me a nigga at a job, oh my God. You best believe if you call me a nigga at my job, I'm not laying a glove on you. It's not a big difference. Listen, it's not a big difference because
let me tell you why.
Troy. With some people, some black people, if you call them the job, then both of y'all gonna wind up losing your job because you gonna knock them the fuck out. And you're lost.
I just said you're not hearing what I said.
Hey, not everybody has thought, not everybody thinks about it like I do. Not everybody does that.
You're right. I will not put my hand on nobody at a job that called me a nigga. But if they don't fire him, I'm going to go to the EOC and I'm going to hit the job's pocket. But at some point in time, I'm going to bump into this boy and call me a nigga. And I'm going to put my hands on him.
That's cool.
Because
listen, I'm not anti-violence.
Just like you just broke something down to me, I'm gonna break something down to you about son. You're not gonna sit on here and tell me that if you're outside in the world and you're not talking about work, not talking about anything, that if somebody calls you a nigga, that you ain't gonna go up in their fucking mouth. I've seen you get upset at motherfuckers that treated you like a bitch, and you was ready to beat them the fuck up.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Listen. Whoa, because I won't let nobody just treat me any old kind of way. But that's different. That's different. I said that I would rather be called a nigga than to be treated like a nigga. Now you try to treat me like a nigga, we got a problem. You don't have to say the word. I can tell by the way you treat me. So whenever you see me, now you never seen me get busy on nobody, but you've seen me definitely get a little out of pocket. But each time it was warranted. It was warranted. You can't say it wasn't. You know what I mean? Because motherfuckers was trying to act like they was this, and I was that, or they was trying to act like I wouldn't do something that I would definitely do. So yeah, when I smacked the drink out of Sugar Bear hand, that's what he did. He owed me money, and he acted like he didn't owe me money, and that he wasn't gonna pay me. All right. You didn't see me. Did I get loud with him? Nope, I ain't do none of that. What did I do? I walked past him.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to.
But notice what I did. I put him in a position where he had to strike against me. I didn't strike against him. I just knocked the drink out of his hand with my elbow. Mistake. You know, I'm a big dude. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to do that. But what you gonna do about it? Because you know why I really did it. Now you choose to handle that disrespect that just happened. You know, you choose to handle it in your own way. What choice did he make though? Yeah, he stood down, he shut the fuck up and got out, you know what I mean? And let it go. He said, why'd you do that? I said, did what? What'd I do? Oh, I made a mistake and knocked the drink out your hand. Now, the fact that we was having a discussion that we were disagreeing on beforehand, that's on you. But I put him in a position where he would have to do something. I ain't play myself by going ahead and, you know what I mean, getting physical with him. I ain't call him out of his name or nothing. Like, See, there are times when you got to use your mind. You use your body before you use your mind, then you get behind bars. Use your mind first.
I've done that before.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, then things would have been a lot different if he had used more of his masculine energy. Listen, man, we've been on this show out 2.5 hours. We gotta go. We out of here. But listen, we gonna continue this later.
Can you do me a favor though?
No, because you called me a nigga.
Don't call me my dude. Because see, you already know when you call me my dude, you put the fuck off.
No, when I call you my dude, is because I'm respecting the fact that you don't like to be called nigga. That's all my dude is.
I got it. You could have called me Troy or anything else. It had nothing to do with it.
No, see what means one thing to me might be different than what it means to you. I'm comfortable with the word nigga. I'm very comfortable with that. But because I can't talk to you that way, I have to use another word, and I'm respectful enough to do that. So that's all my dude is.
All the time, and you never use the word nigga.
That's right. But I have said my dude before, and even you recognize it. And it's not because I'm angry with you. I'm not angry with you. You know what I mean? This is what black men are supposed to do. They're supposed to work out their differences. This ain't about nothing. You still my brother. I still love you. Everything is good.
Much love, bro. Always.
No, I mean, this ain't about it. We have to have examples of black men disagreeing with each other, but coming together and putting our differences aside to be more productive in the end. A disagreement doesn't necessarily have to end in a misunderstanding, and definitely doesn't have to end in a separation. And that goes for men on men and women and men on women. But a lot of times we don't understand that. We don't understand that, you know, but we have to learn to understand that. And one of the big reasons that we don't understand it is because we don't understand the use of the word nigga. I cut him off. He ain't even gonna be able to respond. I was mean. I got you, Troy. I got you. All right, listen, yo, we gotta do these birthday shout outs. We gotta do. No, I ain't.
You have a call.
No, I hung up on you on purpose. I ain't letting you. I ain't letting you come back. I ain't letting See, I didn't even have the balls to not answer the phone. Trust me,
I see you on the phone, laughing hard and everything. I'm on the TV. I'm like, what the fuck,
See, that's what you get for fucking with me. I warned you, Troy. I warned you. All right, but I do gotta go, man. I gotta get this shit off here. All right.
All right, love you, boy.
All right, man. Love you too. Holla back.
All right.
All right, y'all. Let's do the poll, the results of the poll question. All right, out of 30 votes, I wrote this wrong. I said, don't you think people, it was supposed to say, do you think people? Sorry, y'all. Do you think that people should only get what they deserve and nothing more based on behavior? I wrote, don't you? See, remember the show started off with me not being ready. All right. Okay. So the answers to the question, 33% said, yes, if you're bad, you get nothing. 43%, which is the largest percentage of people's opinion, says sometimes yes, sometimes no. 13% says depends on if I like them or not. Okay, and 10% says players mess up sometimes. Like, hey, yo, dude, yeah, man, low morals, high standards. All right, yo, let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 27th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Tahira Bellamy, happy birthday. Wait a minute. No, what the fuck is this? Okay, here we go. My bad. Number one out the box, Zira Alcius. Happy birthday to you and Ontaria, Kim Wilson, and Nisha Swain, Taisha Singletary, Lolisha, not Lolita, but Alicia, Michelle Dickerson, and my girl, go back to the 9-something. My girl, Dorinda Watson, happy birthday to you. And Inez Rivers, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, definitely a go-getter and a big supporter of Urban Therapy with Son. Going all the way back to the 2007, my girl, Tanya Respis. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 27th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, low morals, high standards. I mean, it is what it is. We gotta get on out of here, man. I'm not doing no rhyming. I'm not doing no nothing. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. Shout out to my man Troy. Shout out to everybody, all y'all in the chat, moderators, everybody, each and everybody, all y'all. I want y'all to have a good night. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Gittimism show, and that will be Monday going into Tuesday. So make sure y'all come on through. Hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here. I mean, some of y'all been here for like almost 3 hours. You ain't gonna tell me you're like, son, you heard something that kept your attention. All right. Y'all have a great day. No exceptions. Let's all try to be better people. 1.